Yeah.
So they're building it out now. Hopefully they will fire it up and get us in
When do you have to be out?
I think then he was going to Page County more, I guess.
May 28th. It's close. It's close.
Would they let you stay?
You know, it's a little contentious.
All right.
But our attorney said we would just be
I know.
squatters for
Yeah, there you
There you
go.
go.
They can make a move to evict us. We're like,
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst.
not ideal. Not
No,
ideal.
but if worst comes
Yeah.
I would like to
I
be a
know,
part of the
I
side
know.
since they cost us so much
Oh,
But I
aggravation.
guess I went up and I said, like,
That's Michelle just hasn't been petty. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's who I am.
We can do that.
has not been a trustee. And she said, I don't know, in December.
One guy with the C-Smart guy.
Okay.
To learn all the
Yeah.
ropes and
Pickleball.
met with everybody. I'm like, oh,
In my team.
that's impressive. Yeah. So yeah, I want to get to know him.
Hey, Mr. Terrell.
What's going on?
Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Okay.
Ed, how are you? I'm well.
I saw that, yeah. Great. Yeah. I'm just gonna mention that. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah. That's great, yeah.
Am I reading it? As I address it.
Yes.
So I'm gonna read it. As I address it, I'm gonna click it on.
No, it goes on the album.
Let's discuss. Two of us.
Okay.
Son, his wife, high on their list. It's okay. Thank you.
We'll have to see a little something. I'm talking for you.
And head of the street. For the summer.
So wait, is Amy's here tonight? Just supposed to be,
I think she's, yeah, hear this one, not
not
the next
next week.
one.
But yeah, Phil is not, yeah.
Phil is absent tonight?
Correct.
We got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 12th, 2025 meeting of the Village of Western Springs Village Board of Trustees to honor our nation's heroes and especially to honor those individuals who serve and protect our community. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Timick, may we have the roll call, please?
Yes, President Rudolph. Trustee Avakian.
Here.
Trustee Chen.
Here.
Trustee Fink.
Here.
Trustee Lewis.
Here.
Trustee Naraki. Absent. Trustee Terrell.
Here.
Thank you very much. Moving on in our agenda to the next item, which are citizen comments. Do we have anyone who would like to address us this evening? All right, very good. Moving on to the approval of the meeting minutes. We have the minutes from the April 28th, 2025 Board of Trustees meeting on the agenda for consideration. Does anyone have any changes or additions? Great, and if not, then this will be on tonight's omnibus for consideration. Great, thank you. All right, we'll move on then to the committee reports, beginning with general government. Trustee Terrell.
Thank you, Madam President. The first item I have is as important as anything that I'm going to have. It's a proclamation for, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, is it Rujali Day? Rujali Day. So this is the proclamation, which I find fascinating. I think that we had partnered with community thousands of miles away and actually had done so by the first satellite, commercial satellite system. So here's the proclamation. Whereas in the late 1950s, Western Springs joined the People-to-People program, spearheaded by the U.S. State Department, which created partnerships between American cities and similar communities across the globe to develop international relationships among government and citizens. Whereas in 1956, Western Springs asked the State Department to find a similarly sized community that could correspond and share ideas, and as a result was paired with Rugeley, England. Whereas thereafter regular correspondence began between Rugeley, England and Western Springs, focusing on government and how people lived. Whereas in 1957, the Western Springs Village President visited Rugeley and attended a dedication naming a new highway, Western Springs, in honor of the relationship with their sister city. Whereas in 1958, representatives of Rugeley visited Western Springs, and in addition to a parade, the governor of Illinois and British Council spoke to the assembled crowd. Whereas on May 23, 1959, our community celebrated the official dedication of Rugeley Road. A boulder commemorating the dedication was placed at the corner of Caroline Place and Rugeley Road with a plaque that reads, Rugeley Road is in honor of Rugeley in Staffordshire, England, where in 1957 a road was named for our village. Whereas in 1962, 3 representatives from Rugeley and Western Springs were invited by the State Department to communicate with each other via Telstar, the first commercial satellite system. Whereas this relationship has contributed to better understanding between the people of goodwill in different parts of the world. And whereas the people of Western Springs gratefully acknowledge friendships with the people of Rugeley, particularly those rekindled by the members of the Western Springs Historical Society. Be it therefore resolved that in recognition of our bonds of friendship and understanding, the flag of the United Kingdom shall be displayed alongside the flag of the United States of America on Village Hall property on that day. And be it therefore resolved that all residents of Western Springs shall be and are hereby encouraged to seek and work toward better understanding of people everywhere. Be it therefore resolved that May 23, 2025, the anniversary of the dedication of Rugeley Road in our village be and is hereby officially proclaimed Rugeley Day.
Terrific. Thank you for reading that.
Should I move on?
Why don't you-
Well,
Yes.
thank you very much for participating in this.
Trustee Terrell?
Yes.
I'm not sure if anyone from the Historical
Yes,
Society
I
would
should.
like to come up to the podium to talk about the event that's being planned for Rugeley Day. The microphone is on here, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Can you just give your name, please?
Hi, I'm Leslie Walters, and we have been working on rekindling this relationship.
Oh, here, it's usually on. but-
I think, okay, like just.
Yep.
Hi. Okay, so we've been working for the last year, rekindling the relationship, doing the research. It is fascinating to see how much our village, our founders did. It really does give us goosebumps.
Sorry.
Sure, it just went dead again, you can see.
Do you want to use my microphone?
Okay, try it again, and if it goes out, just.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
we started doing a display at the Thomas Ford back in March. A lot of the village could see that. Yeah. Okay, so we started
There you go.
at the Thomas Ford in March and did a display there. And now we are going to turn the tower into a pretty substantial display come June. And we will have audio and visual of the first Telstar call that they made. And again, Illinois, we were the first in Illinois, one of the first nationally. We have a telegram from Eisenhower. We have really a lot of just beautiful archived items that no one really knows about. We have the first Princess phone. Does everybody remember Princess phones? We have the Princess phone that the actual phone call was made on. Pictures of like missiles that we had out in front of the tower because we had missiles of friendship, because this is post-Cold War. So we hope everybody can come see it at the tower. We have the 16mm film of when Rugeley Day actually happened. 2 students from Rugeley came over as ambassadors, and the community invited them everywhere. They were on national TV. It just blows your mind what they actually accomplished. I'm like humbled by the citizens of our community of the past, of what they've accomplished. And then this carried on till about 1977.
Well, it carried on beyond that, because I think at our centennial, I thought some official from Rugeley came.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it was like around,
participated.
yeah, exactly. But your involvement was in the 70s.
1977, I was a relatively new trustee at the time. And
Yeah.
Jean Havick and I were appointed by then-President, the then-President, to be in charge of the soccer team that was coming over.
Yeah.
16, 17, 18-year-old boys from Rugeley. And their community did a huge fundraiser to be able to send the soccer boys and their coach to the United States. And then families in Western Springs each adopted a player. I had a young man named Steve Walensky who we still correspond.
And I was going to say, that being said, the McClure students had pen pals, and I've met 2 people who are still pen pals since 1957. That one lives here, one lives there. I mean, they've reached out, and so anyway, it's really exciting to us, and we hope maybe it opens some people's eyes to living outside our bubble. So, thank you.
Thank you for sharing. And thank you for keeping the artifacts and keeping it alive. So, yeah, thanks very much.
And what time is it, the presentation?
Oh, yeah, that was really what you asked about. 4 o'clock on Friday, the 23rd. It's bad timing with Memorial Day, but we're just simply gonna, flag on the tower for a bit and acknowledge those who came before us.
So again, just for the recording at home, that's 4 o'clock on Friday, the 25th.
23rd.
Oh, sorry, 23rd. 23rd, I don't have a calendar in front of me, sorry.
Right. Again, thanks very much. Thank you for sharing.
Okay. On a less international, but still important flavor, I have a number of amendments to our liquor licenses. The first is item 6B, Guac and Taco, 800 Hillgrove Avenue, that's Unit 104, an amendment to the Class H liquor license and temporary use permit. Guac and Tacos is seeking an amendment to their Class H liquor license to make permanent their expanded outdoor dining area adjacent to the storefront. During COVID, they were permitted to expand out to the street area, 5 on-street parking areas under the emergency protocols approved by the village. Those emergency protocols have expired. The applicants who are the business owners are requesting to permanently allow dining in 3 on-street spaces from March until December of each year. The applicants are also requesting that the village place, store, and remove the white barricades each year. Our committee discussed this at our last meeting a few weeks back, and we recommended the approval to the village board. The Liquor Commission has also reviewed the application on April 30th, and they also recommended approval. So this will be on our village as an omnibus item in a week. Is that correct? Or is it?
If there are
Yes.
no objections tonight, they can be placed on the omnibus
For-
for the
right.
19th.
Right. Did anyone have any questions about that? Okay. Then similarly, item 6C is Hillgrove Tap, 800 Hillgrove Avenue, Units 101, 102, and 103, amendment to Class H and Class and B liquor licenses and temporary use permit. Hillgrove Tap is seeking an amendment to their Class B and H liquor licenses to make permanent their expanded outdoor dining area adjacent to their storefront and interior dining. Their liquor license for Hillgrove was originally approved in 2015 and allowed liquor sales in 2 units of the 800 Hillgrove building. Since that time, Hillgrove has expanded into a 3rd unit moving west inside the building. During COVID, they were permitted to expand their outdoor dining area under the emergency protocols approved by the village. The applicant, who is the business owner, is requesting to update their license to continue operating, as you can see observed outside today as we have it right now. Our committee discussed this at our last meeting, and we recommended approval to the village board. Similarly to Guac and Taco, the Liquor Control Commission also reviewed the application and recommended approval. And if anyone has any questions, if not, it will be on the omnibus in a week. Any questions about this? Okay, then moving further to item 6D, Salerno's Pizza and R Bar, 821 Burlington Avenue. Also an amendment to a Class H liquor license and temporary use permit. Salerno's is seeking the amendment to their Class H liquor license to make permanent their expanded outdoor dining area adjacent to their storefront. Like the other 2, during COVID, they were permitted to expand dining into 5 on-street parking spaces under the emergency protocols approved by the village. This past fall, the village completed a streetscape project on Burlington Avenue. This project included a pedestrian bump out adjacent to the train platform. The bump out shortened the distance for pedestrians to cross from the platform to Burlington Avenue and created additional sidewalk area for outdoor dining. The applicant, who is the business owner, is requesting to use this area for outdoor dining. Our committee discussed this at our last meeting, and we recommended approval to the village board with one condition. Liquor Control Commission also reviewed the application on April 30th and recommended approval with the one condition. Director Vallone, can you provide detailed information on the condition recommended by both the committee and the commission?
Absolutely. I'm going to direct your attention to the screen. There should be iPads in front of you, and then there's also screens on either side. What you're seeing on the screen was the original sketch provided by the business owner, showing his proposed locations for seats and tables. During this process, we were reviewing it to ensure there was proper clear space area around the tables and also around some of the improvements the applicant is looking to make related to pergolas, decorative pergolas, potentially a shade cover, and then some heating elements as well. Staff was able to verify through a scalable document in CAD that you can see on the screen now that has the blue tables and the green areas indicated for planters. Just to give you just a quick overview of this layout, essentially where you see the dot on the screen, that is the outline of the building itself. Then we are seeing the public sidewalk, and then of course, this is the new bump out area. The tables are indicated in the teal color, the heaters are indicated in the pinkish red, and then there are at-grade planter areas adjacent as well. The General Government Committee and also the Liquor Committee made a recommendation of approval pending the verification that all of the proposed tables and chairs could meet the minimum clear space area, so that's the area around them to ensure people can navigate the space. We were able to verify that, that they could have the layout they are looking for with the improvements, the pergolas and the shade area and the heaters, and still comply with those clear space areas. So they, we were able to verify that they do comply with the condition from both the committee and the commission.
Anyone have any questions of Director Vallone of this? Okay, like the other two, we will recommend that it be placed on the omnibus for consideration next Monday's meeting.
Great.
The final item that I have concerns the audio and video equipment to the all-purpose room. I discussed this a few weeks back. If you recall, the equipment must be updated to the room below us. As I'd mentioned at our last meeting, the required audio-visual equipment is specialized and must be compatible with what we have up here. We have used Midwest Computer Products for the boardroom, and we were not able to obtain additional proposals from other vendors to install the audio-visual downstairs, except for a very reasonable price from Midwest Computer Products. The cost is $17,945 and $16,970 for the audio and visual. I don't know which one's the 17 and which one's the 16. But the good news is, remember that we will be reimbursed the full amount of these expenditures from the West Central Cable Agency grant program. So I would, if there's no questions on that, I would have nothing further to report.
And that'll be on the omnibus.
Correct, that will be on the omnibus next Monday as well. That would conclude my report.
On the omnibus tonight.
Oh, it's tonight? Okay.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thanks very much. And let's move on then to the Finance Committee. Trustee Chen.
Okay, thank you, Madam President. I'm going to report on two items that we discussed at the last Finance Committee meeting. The first is the TIF incentive rebate payment to Hawthorne 45 LLC. And I'm just going to read through the memo that was in your packet, because it does give a good wrap-up of this distribution and, you know, what's been distributed to date on the project. So in accordance with resolution number 20-2557, the village has prepared the 9th disbursement and transfer of tax increment financing funds to Hawthorne 45 LLC, formerly known as Foxford Station LLC. The amount to be distributed was calculated by applying 70% to the TIF collections of the 2024 tax levy received from the first installment of property taxes. Based on the county's report, through the first installment of property taxes, tax code 21278 generated $238,483. To date, all funds have been collected, and the allocation of 70% to Hawthorne 45 LLC is calculated at $166,938. A second disbursement will be requested later in the year for the difference between the full increment received for the 2024 levy year and this disbursement. Per resolution number 20-2557, the maximum TIF incentive rebate amount is $2,200,000, and to date, including this disbursement, $1,197,209 has been dispersed. The Finance Committee reviewed this item at our meeting, and we recommended approval of the June 1, 2025 TIF incentive rebate to Hawthorne 45 LLC, Foxford, for the increment received from the first installment of the 2024 levy year in the amount of $166,938. I don't know if there's any questions on that, but that's sort of the state of affairs on that TIF district. And I believe that's going to the omnibus. Yes. Okay.
It doesn't say
It doesn't say that. Maybe is it on? Oh, okay, it'll be approved at the next meeting. Okay. Very good. Okay. And then the second item is expressing, I have to pull this up. Expressing official intent regarding certain capital expenditures to be reimbursed from proceeds of one or more obligations to be issued by the Village of Western Springs. I'm just going to give a quick summary of this item. And if there's any questions, I'm going to toss it over to
Yeah,
Casey.
any of us could handle that, sure.
Yes. Well, we reviewed this item, and we are recommending it to the full board. Actually, would either of you like to just take this item?
You want to do it, Casey?
Okay.
You can take it, Trustee Chen. Yeah, so in short, I know the title's long, but really what this resolution says is that, you know, we have a $45 million referendum approved for infrastructure improvements, and to gain access to that money, we have to issue bonds, which in turn means we have to incur debt. We have projects that are on a timeline to get completed now that we are moving forward with, but design for those projects takes some time. So we don't want to incur debt on the full construction costs by issuing bonds before we're ready to spend it. So this resolution would allow us to move forward, use existing funds that we have today to pay for design costs or construction costs in some manner, and then be reimbursed once we issue bonds by those proceeds that come in. So it lets us get started sooner on design and in some cases construction without incurring the debt right away.
Great. I don't know if there's any questions, but we were favorable to that concept in committee, and we recommend it.
Okay.
And those are the two items. That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Okay. Planning and zoning, Trustee Naraki, who is not here. This will be taken by who?
I will take that. The only item that we have, which is on the omnibus portion of tonight's meeting, is item 8A, which is previously discussed. It's the Lyons Township High School District 204, 4900 Willow Springs Road Amendment to Conditional Use Permit. We discussed this previously. It's very interesting. Remember, they're going to move the softball field from one side of the campus to another side to be closer to the actual campus buildings. It will result in presumably less noise and also be more space for the occupants and for citizens, and more ADA compliant viewing surfaces. So we discussed this, and it'll be on tonight's omnibus for consideration.
Terrific. Anybody have any questions? Okay, very good. Thank you. All right, moving to Public Works and Water, Trustee Fink.
Thank you. The first item is the lead service line replacement and cost share program. So the Public Works Committee recommends approving the cost share reimbursement program. So this is a program that's very similar to the overhead sewer program. We have $50,000 budgeted, and if someone has a lead service line and would like to get it replaced on their own, it'll be a cost share that the village will pay half of it up to $5,000. And it's been successfully initiated with 2 residents right now.
Great.
The next item is the 53rd Street and Flag Creek water main project. So that's the one where we just found out they were trying to have to replace an 8-inch water main that goes underneath Flag Creek that they noticed during fire hydrant flushing. All the bids are coming in much higher than was anticipated. So Public Works is recommending rejecting all the bids and rebidding the project with revisions to the contract. So what they found is bedrock underneath there, and the thought is if we could have a better idea of where the bedrock is, we might be able to repackage it into a more cost-effective program. The next item is professional service agreement with Robinson Engineering Ltd. for construction oversight and management of the 2025 sanitary sewer point repairs. The Public Works recommends approving the professional service agreement with Robinson Engineering not to exceed $36,750. This is going to prepare the engineering plans, assist with bidding and permitting for the point repairs in Springdale and Ridgewood. So this is a budgeted item. We budgeted $33,000 and it's $36,750, but they said there's enough money in the accounts that they can make up the difference. The next item is the contract with Suburban general construction for the 2025 sanitary sewer point project. So this, we didn't have the company, but we're recommending, I guess we didn't recommend it because we didn't talk about it during our meeting. We didn't have the lowest bid yet. But they were the lowest bidder, not to exceed $255,105. And so what this will do is sewer point repairs at 10 different locations in Springdale and Ridgewood. So the next item is, will be on the omnibus tonight. We discussed this before. It's authorizing the motor fuel tax to be used for asphalt resurfacing. We do this every year, so it's an IDOT resolution authorizing the use of motor fuel to pay for the resurfacing. The next item is, again, previously discussed, and it will be on omnibus tonight. The contract with Murphy Construction for the 2025 asphalt resurfacing and skip patching. So Murphy Construction was the lowest bidder, not to exceed $512,875.22. Other items, Touch a Truck. It will be Saturday, May 17th from 9 to 12 on the Tower Green. From 9 to 10 will be sensory friendly. We have trucks from Western Springs, Willow Springs, and Darien there. And the water system update, fire hydrant flushing has been completed. And the other item, Carollo Engineering will be here this week. They're gonna look at the water treatment plant. They're coming up with recommendations to save money, and they're gonna look at, more specifically, the Amiad filter system that takes the iron out of the water. Currently, we get those filters from Israel, and there might be a more local place that we can get it, it can happen more quickly and a little cheaper. And that's all I have.
Just a question, I take it it'll be on the website where those asphalt street resurfacing, what streets will get that? We'll get those services first?
It's 45th Street from Wolf to Gilbert, and then there's village-wide patching.
Okay, village-wide passing, but the only street will be 45th Street from, okay.
We're doing other streets via other projects. To
Right.
grants and
This
whatnot.
one's just
This
45th
is-
Street.
Yes,
and the
correct.
patches. Okay, thank you.
These funds specifically are for this. Is that what you meant? Okay. Thank you.
And that's all I have.
Okay, very good. Thanks very much. Moving on to Properties and Recreation Committee, Trustee Vacan.
Thank you. I first wanted to thank the team at the Water Open House. That was really cool. So thank you for doing that. I was very interested to see, that's quite an operation. So that was cool. So thank you all that put a lot of effort into that. That was nice. And I did not get the taste test right.
You weren't alone.
Anyway, back to business. I am going to recommend an agreement with Tria Architecture for a design study for the space needs analysis at the Public Works facility. They're going to come out and figure out how we can get more efficient with the small amount of space that they have, and that is not to exceed $17,500. Any questions?
Is that on the bus next week?
It's next.
Next week. Okay, great. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, that's all I have.
And Public Health and Safety Committee, Trustee Lewis.
Thank you, President Rudolph. Our committee has reviewed and recommends approval of the Stray Animal Services Agreement with the Hinsdale Humane Society. Services provided by the organization include the storage of stray animals, veterinary services, and preparation of the animals for adoption if necessary. The village will pay the society a flat fee of $385 per animal, but we do recover some of those dollars when the owners are identified. I'll also note that our police officers make every effort to reunite strays with their owners before turning the animals over to the Hinsdale Humane Society. Last year, about a dozen animals ended up there. And as of last week, only one animal had been turned over to the organization so far this year. So we hope to have the full board approve the agreement at our next meeting. Any questions? Also at our committee meeting last week, Chief Gahula gave us an excellent review of the 2024 annual police report. And you should each have a copy of the report in front of you tonight. And I've asked Chief Gahuli to take a few minutes this evening to share some highlights from the report with the full board. Chief, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Trustee Lewis. Just to give you a quick overview, if you start on page 4, the organizational chart, we had a few changes this past year in 2024. We created a detective sergeant position, Sergeant Casey Church, And he oversees 2 detectives, and one of the detectives is a detective slash crime prevention officer, kind of a hybrid position we have. And he also oversees the high school resource officer at Lyons Township South Campus. Moving over to page 6, police changes. This year we hired 2 new police officers, Officer Hostetler and Officer Tony Poli, who came with over 25 years of police experience. Only 2 departures in 2024. Sergeant Dean Harrison retired after 24 years of service, and Sarah Crastens, who was our records clerk, went to a full-time position at the finance department within the village. Going to page 8, we had a number of awards this year that police personnel received. Just to outline one of them, a residential burglary arrest on February 29th, 2024. The detectives did a great job, worked with several other agencies, conducted multiple surveillances and search warrants, and ended up arresting 2 individuals for residential burglary, which is a Class 1 felony. Later in November of this year, we received our accreditation. It was an on-site evaluation where they came and they looked at all our police policies, practices, to ensure we have the best police procedures and practices in place. And it's to be noted that we're one of only 5% of police agencies have this accreditation status, so it's something we're definitely very proud of. Our goals for 2025, we're continuing to enhance community policing. That's getting out on the bike patrols, conducting foot patrols, conducting problem-oriented policing projects. That's if there's an issue in town, we assign it to a police officer to analyze it, address it, and come up with a solution as to rectify the problem. We also have crime prevention through environmental design, also known as CPTED inspections, where Detective Noonan will go out to businesses and residents and give a free security assessment, how to make your property less susceptible to criminal behavior and activity. We have all our officers are crisis intervention trained, and we're also preparing with emergency preparedness. We've done several tabletop exercises. In addition, we're doing a full-scale active shooter drill this June 7th in conjunction with the fire department and local municipalities as well. Going over to page 13, we're part of the Northern Illinois Police Alarm System still. Officer Gismondi is part of the Mobile Field Force. That's basically a crowd control unit. So at any moment, if we have an issue in our town, we could deploy up to 70 to 100 police officers to assist us. Officer Poli is a member of the emergency service team with NIPUS. That's like a SWAT team. So if we have an instance where we need a SWAT unit to come out, they'll be there at a moment's notice as well. Going over to page 14, technology and advancements. As of January 1st of this year, all our officers have body-worn cameras. We have the Axon system, which has been wonderful. And we also have license plate readers too that are going to be put up within a month or so within the community. Going to page 16, social services. We have a contract with Dana Pavlu, and she assists with several calls for services. Definitely worth her weight in gold. These could be instances from mental health issues, substance abuse type cases, assisting senior citizens, juvenile concerns, and she also does our well-being checks for our officers once a year. And we have Pastor Dean Mockenmeyer as well. He's been a great resource for us. He comes out at moment's notice. He'll assist us with making such calls as death notifications and calls that are difficult to make. Going over to the investigations unit, we're part of the major case assistance team. We have 12 towns that feed into that. They're neighboring jurisdictions. That's pretty much at the drop of a hat. We could have 20 investigators assisting us with different types of calls for service. And we're also a member of the South Suburban Major Crimes Task Force. They investigate homicides. And this year, Detective Ken Laffin was made a supervisor on that team as well. So that was a great achievement on his part. Going to page 23, High school resource officer, Officer McClintock is finishing up his second year at Lyons Township High School. He's there anytime the school is open. He also goes for extracurricular activities such as football games, basketball games, and he'll be there within the next coming weeks at the prom as well. And if you go to page 27, we have a new evidence technician unit team this year. Officer Hostetler's kind of overseeing this and spearheading the unit. We have 5 officers that receive specialized training, and that could be from obtaining DNA to lifting fingerprints to properly taking photographs. And we also have a new evidence technician room that's at Station 2 Firehouse. And that is pretty much it. If you have any questions, there's a lot to it, so.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Report's very well done, a great reminder of the important services you will provide to our community. And as anyone can see from looking at the statistics, if you dig into the report, we live in a very safe community. So congratulations to everyone in the department, and for an excellent 2024, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Trustee Lewis.
Any questions?
Yeah, again, thank you. A terrific report, and we really appreciate just your leadership and the entire team, just for the dedication. And I'm every year I'm just reminded of and impressed by just the preparedness, the different training, kind of the new technologies. We're really, really fortunate to have such a staff here. So thank you very much. It's a terrific report.
Thank you. We appreciate all the support from you and the entire board, and Manager Bear as well. Thank you.
All right. And lastly, I can report that Chief Scott is planning to have the fire department participate in the Lyons Township Summer Intern Program again this year. The township will pay the interns, but the fire department will supervise the individuals and assign tasks. Last year, 2 young people participated in the program and worked 30 hours per week. So we need an intergovernmental agreement with Lyons Township to make this happen. And the proposed agreement has been reviewed by Attorney Jerusik and returned to the township for their consideration. And we hope to have our board approve that agreement at our next meeting. Any questions about that? That concludes my report.
All right, very good. Thanks very much. All right, we will move on to the consideration of an action on some of our agenda items that have been covered. We will have an omnibus vote. As a reminder, the Illinois state statutes allow a municipality to collectively vote on a group of ordinances, resolutions, and other motions, such as awards of contracts, appointments, etc. This is known as an omnibus vote. All the items contained on the omnibus vote list have been previously discussed by the President and Board of Trustees on at least one occasion, and often on several occasions. By placing them on the omnibus vote list, a single vote may be taken to approve them. A trustee may remove any item from the list and have it discussed and voted on separately prior to the omnibus vote. Is there any such request this evening? All right, Trustee Terrell.
Madam President, I would move that the following ordinances, resolutions, and motions as contained on the meeting agenda for May 12th, 2025 be adopted and/or approved under an omnibus vote. Agenda item 14A, motion to approve the April 28th, 2025 Board of Trustees meeting minutes as read. Agenda item B, as proclaimed earlier, motion to proclaim the May 23rd, 2025 Rougeley Day. Agenda item C, motion to approve the use of motor fuel tax funds for the 2025 asphalt street resurfacing and skip patching program utilizing MFT Resolution Form BLR 0911-0A. Agenda item 14D, ordinance number 25-3264, an ordinance approving an amendment to the conditional use permit to permit the construction, operation, and maintenance of an outdoor video scoreboard and softball field at the 4900 Willow Springs Road property, LTHS South Campus. Agenda item 14E, resolution number 25-2907, a resolution approving the waiver of the competitive bidding process and authorizing and approving the execution of a vendor contract for goods, supplies, and services with Midwest Computer Products Incorporated based on the proposals dated March 1st, 2025 and March 11th, 2025 for the purchase and installation of new AV and CATV equipment for the all-purpose room and lower level in the Western Springs Village Hall. Contract price $34,915. And agenda item 14F, resolution number 25-2908, a resolution accepting the low bid and authorizing the approval and execution of a construction contract for the 2025 motor fuel tax, MFT, roadway resurfacing project to be entered into with the lowest cost qualified and responsive bidder, Murphy Construction Services LLC, and authorizing the expenditure of village MFT funds, the village's general fund, and/or monies from other lawful sources. Contract price $512,818.22.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, President Rudolph. Trustee Avakian.
Aye.
Trustee Chen.
Aye.
Trustee Fink.
Aye.
Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Naraki is absent. Trustee Terrell.
Aye.
President Rudolph.
Aye.
The ordinances, resolutions, and motions contained in the agenda of May 12th, 2025 are hereby adopted or approved.
Thank you very much. Is there any new business this evening? And any old business? All right. Hearing none, we'll move on to the reports, beginning with our monthly financial report. Trustee Chen.
No report tonight.
All right. For my report, just briefly, last week I had the privilege of attending the swearing-in ceremony for the new village president in Hinsdale. Some of you may know or had read President Colley had served for 16 years, and he is retiring. And the incoming president is Greg Hart, and they had a lovely ceremony on their front lawn of the Memorial Hall there in Hinsdale. It was a lovely event, and we look forward to welcoming him as our new neighbor and new nearby president. So it was a nice event. And that's all I have, so I'll turn it over to you, Manager Bear.
Thank you. I just have a couple of items. The Department of Fire and EMS held a memorial event this evening in memory of firefighter Willard Christopher. Willard Charles Christopher, age 54, died on May 14, 2001 from injuries sustained during a training drill with the Western Springs Fire Department. Willard had been a member of the fire department for approximately 15 weeks as a paid-on-call probationary firefighter. Willard was a 1971 graduate of New Mexico Tech in environmental engineering and worked as a regional director at ATC Associates, Inc. He was a certified industrial hygienist. He had served as president of the Chicago section of the American Industrial Hygiene Association and was a member of its asbestos analysis committee. Willard conducted classes and seminars nationwide on asbestos, hazardous materials, and other environmental issues. In addition to his degree from New Mexico Tech, he held a Master of Business Administration from St. Xavier College in Chicago. He was an active member of St. John's Lutheran Church, where he was part of the senior choir. He was married to his wife Lucy in 1990, and together they had 2 children, Charles and Alyssa. Willard loved being with his family, reading to his children, singing, gardening, and cooking. As I mentioned earlier, the Department of Fire and EMS remembered firefighter Willard Christopher as they do each year, and I'd like to thank Chief Scott and the dedicated members of the fire department for continuing this moving tradition. Another item is that on Thursday, May 15th at 6 p.m., the Department of Law Enforcement Services will be holding a short service at the Tower Green for Peace Officers Memorial Day. During this service, our community will pay tribute to officers who have died in the line of duty and those who died while in law enforcement services. Everyone is invited to attend, and we expect the event will last less than half an hour. We have a number of folks who are coming to speak, and I think it'll be a really nice evening. We are anticipating there could be inclement weather, so we will post updates on our website if anything is to change. As trustee Fink mentioned earlier, the Touch a Truck event returns this Saturday, May 17th from 9 to noon. I just wanted to add that at this event, residents will also have a chance to chat about to chat with those who are working on the Safe Routes to School project. They'll be able to offer feedback about their own thoughts on the Safe Routes to School and accessibility of those routes for their neighborhoods. And then finally, I'd like to recognize Heather Vallone, our Director of Community Development. Heather is going to be receiving the West Suburban Chamber of Commerce 30 Under 40 Award this week. Heather was nominated by the Village and the Western Springs Business Association for her work. In addition to her impressive credentials, the following is an excerpt from the nomination that was submitted. Under Heather's leadership, the Western Springs Department of Community Development immediately accomplished several important initiatives this past year. Heather launched the Business Property Improvement Grant Program, which we all know about, and that provides opportunities for commercial building owners to apply for funding to improve their structures within the downtown TIF district. She also oversaw the downtown market assessment, helping the village to gain a better understanding of the shifting market trends and to lay the foundation for economic policy updates. In just 1 year, Heather has revitalized and significantly increased attendance at the Western Springs French Market, connecting local groups and businesses to the event organizer, Ben Sadoun. These Wednesday markets bring shoppers to the downtown and raise awareness of the exceptional businesses located in our community. Heather constantly seeks ways to improve information and service delivery to the residents and businesses of Western Springs. She continues to revise and refine practices within the Community Development Department, including digital permit processing and an online community portal. In addition, Heather manages complex zoning development proposals addressing the needs of multiple stakeholders for consideration by the Plan Commission and Village Board. Heather is a strong advocate for the business community in Western Springs, especially while serving as a liaison to the West Suburban Chamber of Commerce and the Western Springs Business Association. She focuses on promoting local businesses and bringing new businesses to Western Springs. Her professionalism, dedication, and keen attention to detail consistently drive her success across all endeavors. Congratulations to Heather.
Congratulations, Heather. Well done, well done.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Attorney Jerusik.
A much shorter report. No report tonight.
Okay, very good. I think then we are going to adjourn to a closed meeting.
I would have motion to adjourn to a closed meeting for the purposes of setting a price for sale or lease of property owned by the village pursuant to 5 Illinois Compiled Statute 120/2 6 and item B, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee of the public body or legal counsel pursuant to 5 Illinois Compiled Statute 120/2
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Do we need a
Roll call.
Roll call vote, please?
Yes, President Rowe. Trustee Bacon.
Aye.
Trustee Chen.
Aye.
Trustee Fink.
Aye.
Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Naraki's absent. Trustee